Barakati Hawa, Brakatha, Yahusha, Brakati Hawa, Brakatha, Yahusha, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders. Salutations to you, sincere brothers, teaching in truth and in sincerity. Lesson will be entitled Abel and David, Keeper of Sheep. Lord will you are edified. Genesis 4:1. And Adam knew Eve his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord Yahweh. Verse 2. And she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. The focal point for this lesson is reincarnation. Reincarnation goes into the origin of reincarnate. Re meaning back, incarnate meaning flesh. What is back in the flesh? Our spirit. Okay. Now, the connection that Abel and King David was the same spirit, hence keeper of sheep. Okay? If you can receive this in the spirit. Keeper, according to the Hebrew Strong's H 7462, pronounced as Ra-I-Ha, right? Meaning as you can see, 1 AD, shepherd, herdsman. And according to the Wikipedia, a shepherd is a person who tends, herds, feeds, or guards flocks of sheep. Okay? Ruth 4:17. And the women, her neighbors, gave it a name, saying, there is a son born to Naomi. And they called his name Obed. He is the father of Jesse, the father of David, referring to King David. First Samuel 16 and 19. And this is this account is going into when Saul's servants recommended King David to play a harp for Saul, right? When that evil spirit from Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushua, troubled Saul. However, the servants brought this recommendation to King Saul, and he approved that King David could play the harp for him. Now, the point is 1 Samuel 16 and 19. Wherefore Saul sent messengers unto Jesse and said, send me David your son, which is with the sheep. And according to the NLT, verse 19, so Saul sent messengers to Jesse to say, send me your son David, the shepherd. Okay? Hence, a keeper of sheep. All right? Let's continue. 1 Samuel 17 and 15. But David went and returned from Saul to feed his father's sheep at Bethlehem. David was a shepherd. Okay? Let's jump down to verse 33. And this account is going into when King David accepted the challenge to fight Goliath. the Philistine. And Saul said to David, you are not able to go against this Philistine to fight with him, for you are but a youth, and he a man of war from his youth. And David said unto Saul, your servant kept his father's sheep, and there came a lion and a bear and took a lamb out of the flock. Verse 35. And I went out after him and smote him and delivered it out of his mouth. And when he arose against me, I caught him by his beard, meaning mane, and smote him and slew him. Your servant slew both the lion and the bear, and this uncircumcised Philistine shall be as one of them, seeing he has defied the armies of the living power. Okay? So King David is Salakia. He wasn't King David at this time frame. David was giving Saul his resume on how he was a good shepherd. Okay? Let's jump to 2 Samuel 7 and 8. Now therefore so shall you say unto my servant David, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, power of hosts, I took you from the sheepcote, from following the sheep, to be ruler over my people, over Israel. Okay? Now, also, Israel is likened to what? A flock. Let's go to Matthew chapter 10 and verse 6. And this is Yahushua speaking. But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. All right? So, if you can receive this in the spirit, right? King David was Abel. And a major connection. Abel was a keeper of sheep, and David was a keeper of sheep. Prior to the Most High declaring him king at the allotted time, and David became a shepherd or a keeper of the house of Israel. Lord, will you edify? Shalom.